Hello and welcome to the Karina Aster astrology community. I am Karina Aster. So good to have you. And we are the answer. I talk about the answer as in the ANSER, the geese, representing community that I'd love to be a part of. And you're part of my community. So thank you for being here. We have a week of big changes ahead. It is exciting and it's a little, I don't know, it's going to be really different because we are really closing out of this Sagittarius chapter and coming into a Capricorn one. So, um, it's a wonderful time with all kinds of energies, and yet it has been a little bit challenging. And there's really been some big changes and will continue to be this week. And so this is for the week of Monday, July, July. Wow. Okay. I'm fast forwarding to July now. No, not yet. Excuse me. January 12th through the 18th. Yeah. So anyway, thank you again for being here. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and then also check below for the links to get your Chinese astrology to find out what your four animals and your four elements are, your Baji, to know what your animals are. So this is Chinese astrology and then also sidereal astrology. So just remember that as I'm talking about the planets, that it will be in different signs, but the configurations are often this similar. Just yeah, we're looking at where the exact alignment of the stars are overhead. So yeah, very exciting to be here with you as always. And I also do Chinese astrology readings, of course. So don't forget to check out that link below for a full reading or for a mini reading, for a relationship reading. It's such a joy to help people see what their strengths are. And how to draw upon the energies of their current chart, of the year, of their luck cycle, all the things. So much more to say. And I'm getting really excited too, because I will be having some announcements soon, right after the new moon, that will be this Sunday. I will be sharing in next week's video all of my Chinese New Year astrology offerings. So it's going to be a really fun time. For those local, I live in Boise, Idaho. We'll have an event here. And then for all of my online community, there will be an event here as well. So two different things coming up. And yeah, there's so much to say. So again, I'm going to be looking at things through both the Chinese and the sidereal lens. So I will be showing you my chart in just a moment here. And I just want to remind people that I am always looking at ways to find and help people to create greater emotional resilience. A lot of what I do is really that is kind of in a nutshell what it's helping to create, because I'm helping people create patterns and new habits to break free from painful patterns and or habits that haven't been serving us, right? And so I do that through the AMA body work locally. That's the acupressure and massage. And I do a lot of coaching. So I do the business coaching here with the astrology. There's also a few other ways that I do coaching with it's basically life coaching, but I'm an alchemist. So alchemy coaching, I like to call it. And then I do nutrition coaching. I do a lot of that. Of course, that food is medicine within the acupressure and massage work that I do. And I specialize in helping people with all kinds of mystery illness, including autoimmune and cancer. So I do a lot of things, like I said, to build emotional resilience. And so a couple of things that I have upcoming is I am helping people to do a vitality at the root cleanse. And so a cleanse is something that I typically offer to my community 3 times a year. I lead a group cleanse, and that is again online. It's in a private Facebook group. You get to be part of a community where you get accountability, support led by me, recipes, all this health guidance, emotional mindset guidance. Yeah, because yeah, mindset's a huge part of it. So yeah, so that is coming up, actually begins this Friday. So check the link below and so you can learn more. And I'd love to help you to create more emotional resilience in the body, as well as my pranic breathwork yoga, which is also another thing that I offer online. And that is a really powerful tool that is a movement tool that is very unlike other yoga forms. I almost feel like I should leave the word yoga out. So you do not have to be a yogi to really appreciate it. And if you like yoga, you'll still like it, of course. But you don't have to be super flexible. It's an all standing form. It's fast breath work in and out through the nose. It is, yeah, a very unique form that builds strength and resilience. Like I said, this emotional resilience in the body, as well as it's a great workout and it's great for the lungs. It's great for the immune system. A lot of what I do is boosting the immune system. That's what the Ama therapy does as well. So anyway, thanks for listening to all that. But it's as I'm going to get into, the reason that I'm bringing this up is again back to the astrology. And if you guys haven't been following the financial market, I'm definitely not even a financial astrologer, let alone anybody who is in the financial realm. However, I am personally following things, and I did talk about it in my last video. And there is some really interesting aspects and some really big changes. Like a big piece of legislation just went through on Friday, and it's going to hugely impact all of us. So I hope that you guys are all paying attention. Get on YouTube, look for, what's going on out there, because you're going to want to start moving your money around if you haven't already. And um, I think a lot of people are going to be in a bit of a panic in the coming months and year, to be honest. Like, I do not think that the young fire horse energy is going to be the easiest energy. With that said, it's also going to be really beautiful and magnificent and transformative and spiritually powerful energy. And you get to choose how your reality is going to be, as with all things, but especially because we are in this new realm of having AI. And this is something that is really bringing a lot of us to some really big questions within ourselves and the greater community in the world. And will really, um, yeah, it's going to really depend on how we decide that we are going to use this kind of information, what the world is going to look like in the coming years. So we have a really great responsibility. And as we're starting to approach this Capricorn season, I really want you to think about this responsibility, because that is one of the really key words for Capricorn energy. And the sun is not quite in Capricorn yet, as of the 12th here, as I'm speaking. So on the 14th it will be. So we're almost there, Capricorn. Or if you're watching this later, again, happy birthday to all of you, Sun and Capricorns. And again, if you were like, I thought I was a Sun in Capricorn, and now you're telling me I'm not, well, you probably, if you have been like, I definitely identify as a Capricorn, because I know some of you that listen do, and I would identify you as that as well. However, there's probably a good chance that you either have your ascendant in Capricorn or a moon, Mercury, or Mars. Or Venus, excuse me, any of the personal planets. Yes. So sometimes we can get confused with thinking that our sun sign is some other aspects in our chart that are also very strong. And so that's why a lot of times people have a hard time coming to terms with the fact that, sidereal astrology is really actually based on where the stars are in alignment right now in this day and age. That's why it is, I'm sorry to say, but it's a little bit more accurate. I can follow Western astrologer at times, and I can also see that there's some accuracy in what they're saying. The way that they are translating it ends up being accurate, if that makes sense. But when I look at the moon, this is what taught me that sidereal astrology is the most accurate, because if you start following the energy of the moon, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in just a moment. Thanks for sticking with me. This is why that we know that the sidereal is more accurate, because you'll know if it's uh for instance, like a water day versus not a water day. I mean, there's emotional depth in a water, and when the moon is in a water sign. Okay, so all right, that is a lot for me to introduce, but I think it's really important. And also, like, this is really powerful astrology. And just like yeah, I mean, not all things are created equal. And I have recently found things that are just kind of like a spin-off of of like qigong, that and it just, it's not as powerful like how my breathwork yoga is really powerful because it was created thousands of years ago from the monks who were sitting around and figuring out all these amazing things. So Chinese medicine, Chinese astrology, Chinese metaphysics, this has been around for thousands and thousands of years, so it's withstood the test of time. Again, sidereal astrology is the same. So all right, so we are in this yin earth ox month. Yes. So this is a really beautiful energy. I've talked about how this is an energy of being really resourceful, of really thinking about family. We're going to really be wanting to be protective and family oriented this month. And remember, our month just began. It did switch it up a little bit, but it was on the 6th, I believe, or maybe it was the 5th now. Sorry, I'll have to check my notes, but yeah, and so it will go until actually the 3rd of February. So, because on February 4th, we enter our young fire horse year, and we'll talk about that month, which is a tiger month. So, yeah, but yeah, so this energy is really about this quiet stability. So the ox is like the steadfast energy of like, it's thorough, it's like a prodding energy. Just think about that ox pulling the plow. It's like it is going to get the work done, and it's also like going to take its time, but it's ready to do that. And so this is about putting structures in place so that we can be ready for our 2026. And that's why, again, I spent so much time in this intro talking about all these things that I have to offer. And whether or not you take me up on my offerings, I hope that you're finding ways to create emotional resilience in your life, because this is going to be imperative, because we are going to be faced with things that will challenge all of us. And I really love my breathwork yoga, especially because it has helped me over the years when I was going into really negative patterns, mental patterns in my mind and body, and just and when I am kind of struggling with something, I'm like, I got to get back to doing more breathwork yoga. Like, it's got to be something I'm doing more often, and as soon as I do more of that, I feel so much better. So yeah, so we are really going to have to build some energy. We are in the winter still. So this is the spade energy of the winter in the Magi astrology system, which some of you know about. And sometimes I throw in a little bit of that here as well. But yeah, this is um, just a time again of winter is again related to that water element, and the water element is about gaining wisdom. It is about going within. It's time to take that inventory. We just came out of those busy holiday season, and it has been, like I said, this Sagittarius energy, as we all are aware of. It has been a busy, fast-paced energy because fire signs are fast-paced. And the Sagittarius energy is adventurous, and so we have been very social and adventurous in many different ways, hopefully in safe and healthy ways for all of you. And I know it's been a challenge for a lot of people as well. And prayers and thoughts to all of you that have been in my prayers. And, please let me know if you are needing anything, because yeah, some of us have been going through some tough times. So yeah, that stellium in Sagittarius, again, that has taken us from this energy of being really in this self-righteousness, of really thinking of us versus them, that black and white thinking, that I'm right, you're wrong. So that has been the downward cycle that we are just coming out of. And you may have noticed that in possibly some people in your life. I hope you didn't have to worry or deal with that, but that is part of the energies. So it is, if for some reason you were struggling with through that, it was teaching you something, and hopefully you get to learn your lesson and move on, because yeah, I've definitely been there. And but yeah, so again, that young fire horse year is just around the corner, and it can easily burn itself out because we do have the young fire within the horse energy. So it's basically like double young fire, okay? And I have 2 horses in my chart, and so I know about an aspect that is called what we call self-punishment. And so this is something in the Chinese astrology where if you have the rooster, the dragon, the pig, or the horse, you can experience something called self-punishment. Now, this is basically where, you go against yourself, or you do something where it's like you overextend yourself, you promise too much, or, you think you can do a lot more, like as a horse. And the dragons can really relate to this one too. But us, horses, we're extremely passionate, we're very sociable, we're very energetic, enthusiastic, emotionally available, all of these things. And so we're popular because those are things that everybody likes and wants to be around. And I have two of those in my chart. So I can overgive. As you all know, I have a lot of events I like to do, but yeah, I am going to have to really work on pacing myself this year so that I don't burn myself out and cause that self punishment and create health challenges for myself. So I have a goal to not only get my aromatherapy every month, but now to get a massage every month as well, for sure, at least 2 sessions for myself this entire year of the horse, because I know I'm going to need it to stay healthy and to stay balanced. I'm sure I'll probably get more sessions than that because I tend to, like to keep working on myself. So I've been doing trauma release. I've been working with a therapist that does internal family systems, IFS. So yeah, yeah, I mean, who knows what I will continue doing in the after this month, but that's what I've been doing this last year, and it's been really fabulous. So thank you to those practitioners, you know who you are, that have been assisting me. And okay, so let's see. I just want to say, yeah, that is the energy for the entire month that we are going to be feeling ongoing. So yeah, lots of readiness and structure to put into your life. So again, thinking of systems and structures that will help you to stay well. So whether that's your yoga practice, whether that's your walking habit, getting the good foods in place. So my cleanse is about creating healthy habits of cooking more. I know I need to cook more right now. I've been like having, wraps that are cold for lunch, and like cold, sometimes instead of having like some cold or warm or hot oatmeal in the morning, I'm having cold yogurt. And, my body isn't really loving that. And it's not that it's not healthy, it's just that can cause a lot of cold and damp in the body, which can be a problem. And then you can get that phlegm. So, there's a lot of things that we can put into place to have this readiness and structure to create the health. Also, we have um, a really important time just in a couple weeks that I'm going to be sharing more with you guys about as well, because I have an upcoming event over January 24th and 25th. So it'll be in a couple weekends where we have a special festival, and it is called the Lava Festival. And so this is a time when basically it's this transition between the yin and yang, when we're like really at the utmost time of winter, where that seed is really needing to germinate. And so we really need to go within and just really honor the body. So I'm going to have on the 24th, I'm going to be teaching pranic breathwork yoga in person for those of you that are in the Valley. That's a Saturday morning. I don't normally teach, but I'll be doing that out of Studio Reverb. And then on the 25th, I'm going to be doing a special Lava Festival event with a tea ceremony and music and some other astrological guidance, of course, and so maybe some other healers. I haven't quite figured out all of it, so I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. But yeah, it's just really a time to go within. So it's going to be more about like meditation and internally, yeah, just healing and uh, yeah, I think I've said enough on that. Okay. And again, more to come. And again, just check the link for on the events on my website, because everything will be posted there in the near future. Okay, so we again are on January 12th here. I'm going to share my screen. So today is a Young Fire Dog Day. And so, oops, okay, 1 minute. I do this every time. I started to look at something else and then, okay. So yeah, with first I'll talk about the Chinese astrology for this day, the Young Fire Dog Day. It's a receive day. And so what does this mean? Well, the young fire dog, it's going to really want to be very generous. It's going to want to be very helpful. It's a very protective energy. And so we're going to be really enjoying that energy, along with it being a Moon in Libra day. So I have the sidereal chart up here, Oops, excuse me. 1 second, it switched over. I was like, that is not the sidereal chart. One moment. Okay, there we go. All right, so yes, the moon is in Libra though. And so again, we are just in the very final last couple days of the sun in Sagittarius. So there is kind of a yeah, I mean, look, we still have Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars all in Sagittarius. So we still have the stellium, and this is really will be gone within a couple days. So enjoy it while you can, because I mean, it's such a lovely energy to have this adventurous energy. And then also Sagittarius is really, again, like I keep talking about, really wanting to get to the root, like that archer is pulling back the bow, and it's really just like, okay, where can I find truth? And I have been going down rabbit holes on YouTube and really having a lot of fun because we have that Sagittarius and Mercury. So truth is coming out in the media. That's why I've been going down financial rabbit holes. I've been going down historical rabbit holes. And it's really, really fascinating because so much has been hidden from us and not anymore. We're starting to like actually see and get the truth. So that is a wonderful thing. And thank goodness, right? So, but yeah, we've been having some really tough energy. We've had for a while. I talked about this last week, and it is continuing with a lot of these more challenging squares. So, namely, there are these squares happening with Chiron to Jupiter and Chiron to Mars and the Sun and Venus. So so definitely some triggering, some wounding is coming up, but also this is also giving us some energy to go towards creating a goal and following through with that goal. And so that's why I was talking about the cleanse, and that's why I was like, hey, let's do this cleanse this week because yeah, I mean, this is a time to start like really gather these resources of energy of all this Sagittarius fire energy, and especially this Mars exalted energy. Mars in Sagittarius, it loves to be there. So this is really powerful. And so we can really use that to our advantage by engaging in a cleanse this week or letting go of a habit that's no longer serving us. So I know a lot of people that are quitting smoking or quitting drinking right now. I'm also going to put a link to my friend does hypnotherapy. So I'm going to put his website below if that is something that you are needing, that's somebody to see as well. So um, remind me if I forget to put that link. But yes, I will get that there. And yeah, so anyway, there is definitely some triggering energy still afoot. And remember, I was talking about the financial stuff, and what I wanted to share with you is pretty interesting. So, of course, we've had this ongoing, and this is going to be going throughout our week with this Jupiter opposition to the Sun and Mars, Mercury, and Venus. So, this is really creating, yeah, like an expansion of things that have to do with our beliefs. And guess what? Money is about beliefs. If you if you didn't notice, whether or not you think you have money or whether or not you think you have wealth, it really comes down to a belief. And yeah, I know you're probably like, no, it depends on what's in my bank account. But honestly, we could change in the blink of an eye, and we've all done it where, there's been a time in our life where we thought we had a certain amount of money, and then we looked in the bank and we withdrew, or we were like, we're like, oh, great, I have like $10 left. Like I thought I had $200. Like this is not good, right? So everybody's had that experience where in one moment you can think you have something, in the next moment it's completely different. And again, when it comes to money, and especially if it's obviously in a situation where you have far less or than you had expected, then that's a really scary place. And we can go into this panic, this anxiety, and all of this fire energy can definitely make us have that fire go to the head. So last week, I was also talking to people that had a lot of anger coming up, that had a lot of headaches. A friend and I both had like headaches for like 3 days in a row. This was, earlier, like basically like a week and a half ago. So really when this whole thing really first started, and I did the beginning of my last video. So I was just coming, yeah, through a nasty headache last weekend. Maybe, yeah, it was just around the time when, yeah, this energy was all beginning, I believe. But So yeah, I mean, Mars energy, that energy can rise to the head and it can cause anxiety and anger. So we really need to be aware of that because Jupiter, opposite here, it can expand it. Jupiter is a benevolent energy, but it expands things. And what is really fascinating, back to again the financial system, is that yes, not only do we need to be aware of what's going on because we could find ourselves being like, I thought I had all this money in my savings and my 401k, and now they've taken it from me. And if you don't believe that that could be possible, well, look at 2008, and guess what? We're in another 18-year cycle, and there are things happening that just happened that could cause that reality. So I would start moving your money now if you haven't already. So definitely look into that. Reach out to me personally if you want more information. But yeah, so but yeah, so what's fascinating is that in the Vedic astrology, Jupiter rules gold, and the sun in the Western astrology rules gold. So I mean, there's obviously going to be something happening, and gold is booming right now. Also, the moon is rules silver, and silver's been booming as well. So because we've also had some really interesting, yeah, and I mean, of course, the moon is just moving all the time, but yeah, you can kind of see how that changes. And like today, we have this beautiful trine from Jupiter and the moon. And so that's bestowing blessings and increasing that silver. It probably went up again today. So I'll definitely be checking that. But yeah, I would move some money into silver and gold if I were you. That is something that's happening and will be a good place to invest, in my opinion. And again, I'm not giving financial advice here. But I have to say that. But I really am not a financial astrologer, but I do follow some. Um, and I can put a link to the financial astrologer below too that I follow. So I will also do that. So you can check out his video and his report if you want to buy that. Anyway, yeah, so it's just again, it's fascinating because all of this stuff is tied in, and then Mars also rules crude oil, and so the price of oil also, it'll be interesting if you take a look at that, see if it's expanding. So we're having this expansion of the truth coming out. The Mercury in Sagittarius is about that, and or beliefs, and maybe some people having more stronger opinions, and or just again being like, wow, having more truth coming to the surface about the things that have been kept from us, or the things that you just didn't know about because you never looked into it. Um, there's a yeah, and even truth and expansion of things to do with your relationship. It could have been a little bit challenging with Venus and Sagittarius. I've talked a lot about this, especially it conjunct the Sun and Mars. And so a lot of that fighting energy, a lot of people have been struggling in their relationships. So luckily, we are almost through this energy. We are at 29 degrees of Venus, though, as of today. So that is the last degree of Venus in Sagittarius. So, I really want you to take your assignment today as, if you like to journal, as releasing like how you have grown over the last month, last couple months. I'm going to have to look back to see when Venus went into Sagittarius, but I would say it's been at least a month. Sorry, I should have that up, but I forgot to look at that date. So anyway, I'll try to put a link for that. I'll put that in the notes below as well, but so you can check. But yeah, anyway, so I want you to just see like how you have grown with your love for yourself. Okay, because Venus is also about our self-love. It is about our own self-worth, our values, what we value. And so like how have you grown in your like ability to love yourself better or to value yourself better or your own self-worth? And it's like, for me, like I've been putting more money into again like trauma release and therapy and just, continuing to do that even when I'm like spending all this money on the holidays and everything, and I'm just like, no, this is my focus. Like I love myself enough that I know that I'm going to manifest what I need so that I can yeah, do that work, that internal work. So how are you, showing up in love for yourself? And also maybe there's something with beauty, in your appearance that could be very adventuresome. this would be the last day to really kind of have some fun with that. Again, I just love the travel and adventure energy of Sagittarius. So enjoy this last little hurrah before our stellium goes away. And we'll still have that tomorrow as well, although tomorrow Venus will be moving along. So I will talk about that in just a moment. Let me see if there's anything else in my notes. Yeah, I think that's it. So, but yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. I might have skipped over this moon in Libra. So we will be thinking about fairness, about balance, about justice today. And that could be in terms of like, yeah, again, like kind of that protective energy. So back to that Yang Fire Dog Day, Receive Day. It's like, how can I be there for my community, to show up for others, to be a protective energy for the family? So with that Ox energy, feeling that community and family orientation of wanting to support with this month of the Ox, right? And then the Day of the Dog with that protective energy. So it's a really great day to be looking out for yourself and your loved ones by sharing something important. Maybe share this video. Please give this video a like if you haven't already, and don't forget to subscribe as well. All right, moving along to January 13th, and we have the moon in Libra still. Oops, nope, sorry. I had it wrong in my notes. Okay, great. The moon is in Scorpio. So, um, yes, and again, it is our last day. The sun is now at 29 degrees of Sagittarius. So I just want to say that again, just another thing for January 13th for you to meditate on this day, to journal about your assignment for today. One of them would be to see like what adventures have you been on? What ways have you been finding truth about yourself, truth about the world? Yeah, how has that been showing up for you? How have you been yeah, like changing any beliefs inside of yourself? I've been doing some ancestral energy clearings with clients lately that they've been able to kind of shift some powerful beliefs through that, letting go of some ancestral programming. So that's really fascinating. And then the moon is in Scorpio, so this is a great day to really, do some internal investigation, to dig deep, to do some journaling, to be thinking about these things. And then, we do have this last little stellium of Sagittarius. So just again, continuing this journaling of like, what have I learned from the Sagittarius energy and from the last month or so. And then again, we're going to still continue having this opposition energy from Jupiter. So it is, so yes, there's some expansion of everything that I was talking about before. And now it's having this expansion of the Venus in Capricorn energy. So now we have Venus in Capricorn, which just means that our love language and or thinking, feeling ability is going to be a little bit more pragmatic. We might be more practical in love. We may be able to find more business partnerships and finding, things like that. I mean, or even like love may seem and feel a little bit um, businessy, because it might be like talking about finances and like more of the practical things in life, right? Instead of maybe some of the more fun-loving things that we were talking about during Sagittarius and Venus season. So yeah, anyway, it's going to be great though to have more earth in the chart to really kind of help all of us to come back down to earth so that we're not as hot-headed, and that will continue. And again, um, yeah, the Mars is still in Sagittarius for a few more days. So, again, we're not quite there yet, but this is still a lot of powerful energy for willpower to really make a decision that would empower you and to get you in a direction in life that's going to change something that you have been putting off, or that needs to happen, or that you want to have happen. Like if you have a little bit of willpower from this, then take advantage of it, because it won't be here that much longer. And so again, if you're thinking about that vitality at the root cleanse, I'd love to support you, or any of the other offerings, especially the pranic breathwork yoga, to help yourself become more emotionally resilient. So yeah, I'd love to see you on the mat. And help you to gain that willpower. You deserve it. And so the Mercury, yeah, again, just continuing to see more truth in the world with the Mercury and Sagittarius. That will continue for a little bit longer. I'm excited for that to continue. I'm having to really work on taking social media and, like YouTube breaks and stuff. So I am definitely on my devices a little bit more than, yeah. I mean, I definitely got out and did my earthing today, and it just felt so good to be like, I'm not taking my phone outside to take photos. Like, I love taking pictures of my cats, and then sometimes doing a video of myself, and I'm like, nope, I need to be outside away from technology. Because yeah, like the rabbit holes are really fun and exciting, and Jupiter is kind of blowing that up, right? For me too. So it's kind of fun. We are still feeling a little bit triggered from the Chiron squares, but again, that can sometimes enhance and bring some blessings as well, even though, yeah, sometimes it can, these hard things, we always look at it, hopefully in the moment, but at least retrospectively as those blessings in disguise. So just stay with the good work. So yeah, so that is January 13th. Moving along to, oh my goodness, guys, I'm sorry. So let me go back. I didn't even talk about the Chinese astrology of January 13th. So one second. Okay, so it is a yin fire pig day. And this is an open day. So this could be a good day to start something. It is also um, yeah, it is a day to inspire. It's a day to be playful. It's a day to network. Yeah, so how can you help out your community? Pig people that have the pig in the chart, they can just be such benevolent, loving, generous people, just like that yang fire energy. But this is a yin fire day, so kind of similar, but yin fire is like more about like really giving inspiration and giving knowledge, and so it likes to share as well. And it can get kind of burned out, so just be careful. It is a really strong, powerful day today. Again, use this beautiful Sun and Sagittarius energy, and the moon is in Scorpio. Yes, it could be a very emotionally charged day in certain respects, but it's like hopefully that's like a good emotion of like, like we get to like watch something or feel something and just feel that joy. And like sometimes I'm tearing up over the joy of, right? So I think there'll be a little bit more of that today with the fun-loving pig energy. So really enjoy this day. Um, yeah, it'll be beautiful. Every day is beautiful. Some days I just, advise staying home a little bit more. And we're going to be getting to that later in the week. Okay, so coming to January 14th, we're on Wednesday. The sun moves into Capricorn. Happy birthday, my Capricorn people. Um, Again, this is Sun in Capricorn. So we'll be here for the next month, and the moon continues to be in Scorpio. So again, we're just going to be feeling things a little bit more, really, again, wanting to look at the depths of things, the mysteries. Again, with Mercury being in Sagittarius, we're going to be getting into more things on our beliefs and on the truth. So that will be continuing to be fascinating with that conjunction. Still with Mars, will still be fast moving energy in the world of the media, but also just remember this is tied into this. I haven't talked about this yet, I don't believe, but this is about AI. Like AI moves very fast. And it's like, this is something that we have to learn is discernment of like what is the truth. And so Mars and Mercury and Sagittarius, it might just be like, it's just putting out like all this beliefs and all this thought and all this stuff like vomit, right? And so it's just like, but what is um what is really truth and what is important and where do we want to put our energy, right? And so like my mom talks about how AI will, when they're making up a video, because it's like a word salad. They just like keep talking about stuff over and over and then just kind of spin it in a new direction, and it's like they just made a word salad to make it sound interesting, and you're just like yeah. I mean, sometimes some AI videos are very also compelling, and it can be really hard to distinguish. But, definitely just be aware, especially if you're like me going down rabbit holes, like what is truth? And I have definitely been, asking, like I'm even, sometimes in the comments, like, are you AI? What is your name? If I'm not sure, because, I do want to know the truth. That is something that's very important in my chart and and why I share a lot of truth things here. Like I've been talking about the financial stuff earlier in this video. So yeah. Um, yeah, it's very important to me. But okay, so what else today do I want to share with you? I mean, a lot of the continuing energies, but again, with the sun being in Capricorn, it's like this Capricorn energy is more strategic. So it's this grounded, strategic energy. It's more steadfast. Again, it's similar to the ox energy of the month. So again, like planning how to get through the next month, I guess, and or the winter, right? And just being strategic with like, again, maybe it's money or it's about our time and our energy and like really just getting more grounded. And so, but yeah, now your assignment for your journaling for today on the 14th is to think about while Mars is in this last degree of Sagittarius, this 29 degrees, like how have you been taking action in a more adventurous way, in a more playful way, or in ways that have to do with being driven by your beliefs, or even a sense of possibly self-righteousness, or like feeling like, I mean, I know most of us don't think we're being self-righteous, but I recognize sometimes I can be, but maybe more of that, like I'm right, like this is my truth and I'm getting it out there. It's just something to contemplate. We all can get stuck in that. I mean, I certainly do. Yeah, anyway, so much more I could say on that, and that would be another tangent. But so anyway, this is what else? Okay, so I think the last point on the sidereal energies before I get into the Chinese astrology energy of this day is that we now have the moon and Black Moon Lilith conjunct today, both in Scorpio. So again, we are going to be um really feeling, and then this has a nice trine to Neptune as well. Neptune trine Black Moon Lilith is also going to be helping us to see more of the truth in ways that we have been hiding from others or ourselves, and that we haven't been maybe real about. And so I hope that we can feel like we can start to express ourselves. I think this would be a good day to um, yes, I mean, we still have this Mercury conjunct Mars, and I know I talked last week about like you might want to be careful like when you talk about things with people and like have these difficult conversations. Well, I started to have a difficult conversation yesterday. It was actually my clash day, and well, it was not a conversation, excuse me, it was more of a voice memo, um, which I do hope to have a conversation with this person. But yeah, it was like I still was trying to, of course, say things in the best way and like I would if we are having a conversation. And, and even though it was my clash day and I don't know how well that's going to be received, I was just like, I need to speak my truth. And, this so yeah, Mercury in Sagittarius is about speaking truth. So, and the Mars does give us the courage. Mars is about courage. It gives us the energy to speak truth. And with this energy with the moon and Black Moon Lilith conjunct, we're going to really be wanting to see what parts of ourselves that we have been, that we've shamed, that we have hid away, that we have, put into a closet because it wasn't allowed in our marriage, in our family system, in our spiritual community, all these different places where we've kind of had to push and hide a part of ourselves, and that's not healthy. And eventually it's going to surface, and this is a great time to um transform. So we have this beautiful sextile with Pluto in Capricorn, so let's transform this energy. And so there's some really beautiful aspects to allow you to transform, and it's going to impact your relationships, I think, in a really positive way, because that focal point is here on Venus and the Sun and Mars conjunct. And so it's going to really yeah, help you to feel that value of yourself and know that it's worth speaking up and having the courage, the moral courage to have the conversation, to speak your truth and to share something, even if it's hard for someone else to receive. And so I really invite you to spend some time on how you can think about sharing something that could really impact you and your family in a really positive way. Or maybe, this is it could be with a friend or a family member, whoever this is, there's probably something. The moon in Scorpio, we want to get to the bottom of something. So, such a beautiful time to do this. And also, Today is a young earth rat day. It's a closed day. And while closed days are a lower energy day, it is a 1 star day. And so this is not as low of an energy day. And the young water energy of this day, oh, excuse me, the young earth energy of this day is going to be very stabilizing, and it's going to and with a rat, it's going to help us to be like more sociable and to like speak, again with our loved ones, and to like be also a good listener. Like young earth loves to listen and is very good at that, and so we will have that ability to listen to our clients, our friends, our family, our community, loved ones. So yeah, take this day and do something really grounded and create some positive structures. All right, moving along to January 15th, the moon is in Scorpio, and gosh, I feel like it should be moving into, let me double check. I didn't see when it moves into Sagittarius. Yep, it does. Okay, that's what I thought. It does move into Sagittarius today. So it begins in the morning, earlier part of the day in Scorpio still, and then let's see. Yeah, it'll be in the afternoon that it moves into Sagittarius. So we'll get there. But so yeah, the morning of the 15th, the moon is in Scorpio, and um and then wow, here we are. So Mars has finally moved into Capricorn today. So now we have again this now we have a stellium of Pluto, Venus, Mars, and excuse me, Venus, the Sun, and Mars all in Capricorn. So beautiful Capricorn stellium here. So yeah, again, a lot of strategy could be involved in today's energy. It's a yin earth ox day. So this is fascinating because again, this is the energy of the month is the yin earth ox day. So again, really establishing your resources and your planning for the winter and how to just regain energy, again, coming back to like this idea of we're almost close to that special day, the Laba Festival, where we're going to be celebrating this inward journey that we've been on, that we're continuing on. So really go within and I think as the day progresses, we'll be getting into this energy of the moon in Sagittarius. So the later part of the day, we may feel more sociable. And again, we still have this Mercury in, excuse me, Sagittarius for just a couple more days. So, we can still be, again, investigating and really more talkative, and more adventurous in conversations. It's just a nice sociable time. So, um, yeah, let me see if I can see what time. Yep. Okay. So, uh, 12. Okay. So if I'm remembering right, I'm not sure. I think around 5 o'clock on the 15th, the moon will go into Sagittarius. So yeah, in the evening, you may again feel like, okay, it's time to come out of my shell again. So, you can get out and be a little bit more sociable. That could be a really fun thing to do, but we may be just feeling a little bit inward and earlier in the day or a little more contemplative. And just really steady with our work progress with all that Capricorn and Ox energy of today, which is beautiful energy. But yeah, and it's an established day. So this is a great day to start something new. Do not start it in the beginning of the day as far as like putting out an event or whatever. This is why I also do astrology for business owners, and I guide people through like how to use things correctly. Because if you do something in the middle of when the moon is void, of course, it's just going to disappear. It just goes into the void. I don't know exactly how long that void takes place. Like I said, I believe at 5 o'clock, 5:30 ish, we have that moon going into Sagittarius, but I don't know how long the void goes. I could look it up. And so anyway, but I don't have that information here. So that is something that I guide people on if they want to have the energies. And I have those strength-based dates where you can get the best energies for planning ahead. And this is great for business owners, and it's great for personal stuff too, especially if you have something important. Like I have a good friend that's getting married this year, and So it's like want people to, do really well in business, and I want them to do events on really high energy days and the days that are really going to be successful for them and their specific animals and elements in their chart so that, yeah, they're going to do great. And so that's why sometimes, I don't have something on the day of something exactly. I'll have it like a day later, a couple days later, because yeah, timing matters, I mean, the way that it's going to be received will make a difference depending on my energies and the energies of the day. And I like to look at that again through both of these lenses. So we've got the sidereal energy that helps us with the sky. This is attuned to all the planets that I'm showing you here on the wheel. Now, if I look at the Baji chart, that is the energies of the earth. And so with the Chinese astrology, we're looking at earth energy that's similar to that feng shui energy of like the energies that move around in place. So the energies are always moving for all of us through the 12 zodiac signs, through the five elements. Okay. And then we can look up at the sky and we can see all this planetary alignment. So anyway, I love sharing all this with you. I do want to make sure that I talk about the eclipses. So that is something that we need to start talking about because we are, um, as of this Sunday with the new moon, we will be a month away from the eclipse energy, which means we are starting to already feel the eclipse energy as I speak, according to Vedic sources. So, um, yeah, and I got that from Ksenia. She's a Western astrologer. For any of you that follow her, she's a wonderful Western astrologer. If you do like to look at some Western as well, I mean, again, it's okay for us to look at all the different things. I know a lot of you, follow people like Pam Gregory. She's another amazing one. Astrolata, she's one of my main teachers. Brian Coulter, another great teacher of mine. I've studied under a lot of astrologers, by the way, but those are some of my top ones. Um, Nadia Shaw, she's amazing too. So yeah, there's even though I have a strong belief, right? Again, it's my Sagittarius belief, my, what's right and what's true to me is sidereal astrology, for the most part. But again, I can use it. Oh, Molly McCord is another great one. But yeah, again, so I can see, that there's truth and value in Western astrology. And I think a lot of you that follow me, do follow one of those people or somebody else that I haven't mentioned. But anyway, yeah, and it was an interesting journey for me because, yeah, I mean, I had followed Western astrology, I mean, since I was 18, but like really uh, very in depth since 2014, or even maybe more so 2016, but I would say around then I was like really studying to become an astrologer. And so, yeah, I mean, here it is 2026, and just a little over a year ago, I switched to Vedic. So, um, yeah, it's just taking me a little while. And, I do look forward to giving sidereal Vedic astrology readings in the near future. But in the meantime, the Chinese astrology is super fascinating. I would love to share that with you. Most people don't even know their Chinese animals and elements, let alone like anything about their Baji chart. So it's such a joy to get to share with you. And so thank you for again, being here and for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe and to share this video with a friend if this has given you value so far. And I know that it's just such a joy for me to be here and to give all this. And it's I get to live my gifts and my dreams by doing all the work that I've been blabbing about here that I shared with you at the beginning of this video, and I'm continuing. Okay, so yeah, let's really just enjoy this evening of the moon in Sagittarius. It's again that fun-loving energy that we have been so grown accustomed to. There's an art show here locally if you want to go to that. If you haven't already seen me post about it, shoot me a text if you want to join. But yeah, like get out and do something fun in the community to enjoy. We've had some tough energy, and we have a little bit of tough energies ahead for tomorrow. So I think this would be a lovely day to get out and let that Jupiter energy increase the talkative, fun-loving, conversational energy of Mercury in Sagittarius as well today. I mean, yes, an opposition can increase it. It can also, like it's a clash energy. So yes, it can create some difficulty, and also it can create opportunity. So as just like I talk about a clash and like I had my clash yesterday, like I don't always hide from a clash energy. Yes, it can be a day to lay low, and it just really depends on a lot of different things. Other days it's like, no, this is, and again, there's so many nuances. You have to know a lot more. So I'd love to guide you, but okay. So continuing with the 15th, I've almost finished talking about this, but yeah, just really take this. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, now, again, just Mars and Capricorn. So yes, it's not exalted anymore, but Mars and Capricorn, it can still be like very pragmatic and methodical. And so, this is still going to be like, okay, again, structures. What do I need to put in place? Capricorn is the CEO. It is strategic. I kind of associated with, yes, the ox, but it also has a lot of rabbit and rooster-like energy, or snake-like energy. All of those, if you have any of those animals in your chart, you know about strategy. You're good at that already. So capitalize on that strategic ability to be powerful in creating the change. 0 degrees Capricorn, you have a lot of energy for the next 29 degrees, however long it's going to take Mars to get through that, probably a month and a half, 2 months to get through that full cycle. Next time I will try to get a little bit more dates on some of this, but yeah, so so that is yeah, you just, plan what you would like to do. If you're not out and about having some fun tonight, really just again plan and strategize and enjoy this grounding, earthing energy of the ox and the Capricorn energy. Okay, welcoming in January 6th. Oops. Okay, no wonder what's going on. I keep hitting the 1 hour ahead button instead of the 1 day ahead. Okay. Um, and one moment here. I'm gonna go back to a little bit earlier in the day too, because okay. So all right, we're on the 16th. We're at Friday. The moon is continuing in Sagittarius. Um, And the reason that this today could be a little bit tricky, the main reason, or one of the biggest reasons, is going to be the square from with the moon and Saturn and Neptune conjunction. And so we're going to feel the realistic expectations of Saturn and that constrictive energy, and also that Neptune like ability to create that confusion and illusion energy. And so that can just feel like we're like, are we in a hall of mirrors? And it could just be but yeah, more like feeling that constrictive energy could be a little bit tricky, and it could make us feel a little angry and anxious with that moon in Sagittarius. So just be really kind to yourself today. This is going to be, as always, every day is important to get out and do your earthing, but today do your practices, get out and do your earthing, put your hands on a tree, get yourself on the yoga mat if you do yoga, or get yourself sitting in your meditation chair, wherever it is that you practice your mindfulness. Today is going to be a really important day to do that, because also, I mean, yeah, I mean, we've had the square with the Jupiter and Chiron for a while, and then this I talked about this earlier in the week, the Chiron square to the Sun, Mars, and Mercury. So, it's all continuing, but yeah, so we're going to feel challenged around what we are learning in the media and what's coming up. And again, the truth is still coming up. And so today's assignment is more to see, like, what have I been learning about also my mental patterns? Like, what have I changed about through my beliefs? What have I changed in, um, beliefs about myself and my ability to think, and like, hopefully you're creating some good mindset skills. And if you haven't yet, I'd love to help you, because that is one of the things that in the Magi astrology system, I am a king of clubs, and I really feel as a king of clubs, it's the king of the mind, that I do have a lot of mindset mastery, and it is something that I have worked hard at in this lifetime. And so anyway, I would love for you to do a journaling assignment for seeing how you've come with your mindset, and to look at, also ways that you have, stayed positive, if you have, and or haven't. That's okay. This is again conjunct Mars. And so how has Mars's willpower and courage been for you in being able to communicate your truth and speaking your truth and thinking? And again, it could have been a lot of feeling angry and hot-headed or anxious or frustrated and all of that. With all that Sagittarius energy we just came out of, that was just going right up to the head, giving me and some other people headaches too, right? So um, yeah, just being really kind to ourselves. But it's nice and good to take inventory, right? And also, this is could be, again, the other reason I say this could be a challenging day is it is a young metal tiger day. Um, and so it's a day about justice, and the tiger, again, it can be a little bit reactionary. And so with that energy, with a square with Saturn and Neptune, it could just be like, really angry about justice in the world. And so I would really try to stay out of news a little bit today too, because you could get really riled up and the tiger could just start screaming its head off. Like that's going to make you want to be like that belligerent, self-righteous energy of Sagittarius, and then the belligerent energy of Tiger. These are out of balance energies. Okay, we all have the lower and the higher octave energies. I'm talking about lower octave energies that we are all exposed to on a day like today. It doesn't matter if you have Tiger in your chart or not. Doesn't matter if you have Sagittarius in your chart or not. Okay, the moon represents our energy of all the people. This is affecting us. The energy of the day in the Chinese astrology is a young metal tiger. That is affecting all of us. So again, I am not picking on tiger people. I love them. Yes, they have some difficulties. I can go through every animal and tell you their difficulties, okay? But we're going to also be wanting to have justice. We're going to want to fight for what's right, fight for what's true. And with all this energy in the Capricorn stellium here, we're going to want to transform. Okay, so Pluto is leading this. It's wanting us to transform, and it has the strategy of Capricorn to do this. The Capricorn energy is that CEO energy. It can lead us into a way that will help us to be the best person that we want to be. We're going to get through whatever has been tough, because today is a powerful remove day, a 3-star. That's the highest energy remove day. So this is why I picked today to begin our cleanse, because a remove day is the best day to begin a cleanse, to remove something from the body. Some of us are removing foods that aren't helping us. Some of us are going to be removing parasites. Some of us are just removing sugar. The vitality at the root cleanse, there's lots of ways to do that. So take a look at that link below and see if you want to join. I want to lead you through this because you can do it. You have all this Capricorn energy to create the patterns and to have the new habits. And the earth energy, it loves to take care of itself and feed itself well. And we're going to get some really good new habits, and I'm really looking forward to cooking more and sharing that with you. But also, like, honestly, I just share a lot of really simple recipes. I mean, we all want to cook more, but we all don't have time, or some of us don't want to cook either. And that's okay too. I mean, so it's like, let's be realistic. Like, what are some quick things that are healthy that can feel nourishing? We're all working through that. Okay. Moving to January 17th. Now we are continuing that moon and Sagittarius energy. So should be, oops, sorry, one moment. I am on the 16th still. Okay. And then let me just go up a little bit earlier into the day, so we're not so far later in the day. Okay. So yeah, the morning of the 17th, I'm looking at here. Okay, so again, moon is in Sagittarius today. Now we have Mercury has completely moved into Capricorn. Now we have a really huge stellium here going on and in Capricorn. So again, just following these yin earth ox energies of the year, this gathering our resources, really going within, focusing on structure, stability, planning, the hard work. And then today's energy is the yin metal rabbit. So, and the yin metal rabbit, it also likes to have justice, and it also likes to think about precision. The rabbit is also very family oriented. So with that yin metal, it's about justice and precision, but it does it very softly. It does it with beauty, with kindness, with love. And so how can you add in something into your life today? Today is a multiplier day. What can you add in that would create better systems that are more beautiful and more refined in a way that's going to be helpful for your family and for yourself. And the rabbit, yeah, again, very strategic, but it's also, yeah, very emotionally warm and supportive. It's a very nurturing energy. It reminds me a lot of the Cancerian energy that we think about, even though those are different months. And so it's also very much like the Piscean energy too. But I don't know, rabbits to me, anyway, I have rabbit in my chart. So I kind of feel like there is a lot of, yeah, it's Piscean and Cancerian like energy. So again, it just wants to be really nurturing. And so this is going to be about like, how can we nurture ourselves? Okay. And, again, when we're in all this beautiful earth energy, we're not going to be so much in our heads as much. We're not going to be overthinking as much with Mercury in Capricorn. A lot of people are going to be a lot less hot-headed with with Mars in Capricorn. Okay. So there's a lot of, this is great. This is really good. We're still going to be, really heading into a transformative time. We still have this opposition of Jupiter and the Mercury, Mars, Sun, and Venus. So again, just continuing to expand our ability to um, think practically, to do things practically, to be pragmatic in gaining structures and resources that are going to be beneficial for ourselves, for our family, I think we're really going to be starting to think a little bit more about, what am I trying to say? Like, oh my gosh, the word is escaping me, about what are we leaving, our legacy. There we go. What is our legacy that we're leaving? So that is something I think is going to be on our mind again with some of the financial structures that have changed recently. This could really be interesting. But yeah, it'll be a fun loving energy today. I'm just going to double check that the sun is still in Sagittarius throughout the day. Yeah. So later in the evening, uh, or afternoon, we still have moon in Sagittarius, and then into the evening, yeah, continuing. So it should be a really fun day to still get out. And yeah, if you're going to have a day to do something fun, Saturday would be your day to do that. Um, and then we're going to move over to Sunday, the 17th, and we are at the new moon. And so with this new moon, we have moved into Capricorn. And let me go a little bit earlier in the day. But anyway, um, yeah, maybe even earlier. We're still clear in the afternoon. Let me go back to the morning. But again, the moon is in Capricorn. It actually, in the very beginning of the day, I think it's in Sagittarius, but the new moon, when it begins, it is at 12:52 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's actually in the afternoon that we fully experience our new moon. So, yay, it's time to plant seeds. Again, I always say it can take some time to figure it out, but I feel like we've already been, because of the winter energy, because of us being in this water element energy and all of this Capricornian energy, we're again thinking about things. And so I think it's going to be a lot easier to figure out our new moon intention. Of course, take some time to do that. And if it takes you more energy and time, you have days ahead. I love this day as well for a new moon because it's a young water dragon day. The young water dragon in particular, it's going to really be using the wisdom of what it's been learning. So look at those journaling assignments, thinking about the wisdom of what you've been learning through this Sagittarius season that we just came out of, that huge Sagittarius stellium. Like, what have you been learning that you want to take and you want to bring that wisdom into this big vision that you have? So the dragon helps us to create this big vision. Dragon people are extremely passionate. They have this huge vision. They have so much energy. They can just move mountains. It's amazing. Shout out to my dragon people. Thank you all. You guys are all amazing. Like, all the animals are amazing, but I just, every once in a while, I just like to talk about something that excites me. And even though I don't have dragon in my chart, it's not like I just love everything that's in my chart, right? But I love that visioning. We had our dragon year last year. We're at the end of our snake year. Okay, so let's think about this very last month of the snake year. Let's look at the big vision of like, what are we closing out? What are we bringing forward? What have, again, we've been learning from this chapter, and what can we continue to use with the last of this yin wood snake year to problem solve, to be creative, to bring that spiritual energy. The yang water is the spiritual energy. The snake is a spiritual energy. So we're bringing the ending of this energy in because we are at this eclipse energy that is coming in. We're not at the eclipse yet. No, we're not there yet. We will be experiencing that in a month from now, but we are starting to feel the energies, and eclipses affect us a month before and a month after of the eclipse season, which has the 2 weeks in between that new moon and full moon. So um it is a really powerful time to recognize what is coming in, and also it is going to create a lot of changes. Okay, so people are going to leave our life, jobs are going to leave our life, so relationships, work things, yeah, different things that, it's time to let go of. And so it is a time to contemplate, with the young water dragon. Maybe you need to just go on a little vision quest. That can just be a nice way of saying, I mean, this time of year for us in the Northern Hemisphere, we're not going outside on a vision quest. We're going into the bathtub, right? On a little meditation journey, or we're just laying in bed taking a beautiful meditation. I'm also going to put my friend Trisha's video down below. She leads meditation on YouTube, and so she's really lovely person to check out. And so, yeah, take a look at that video if you like to follow meditations. But, this is just a really lovely day to find some balance. It is a balanced day. It's a good day to rest and kind of come back down to earth. The moon is in Capricorn, so we're all going to be feeling a lot of the stabilizing energy and just be thinking very pragmatically and practically about life. And so yeah, it's a beautiful new moon, and it is a time to honor your body, to honor the hard work. And the hard work is sometimes just the taking care of our body. Okay. And I talk a lot about that. I talked so much about emotional resilience in this video today. But yeah, I really hope that it helped you. I am so happy that you stayed with me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for liking this video, and thank you for sharing. And please get this word out. Share it with a friend that hasn't seen it before, or maybe somebody who has, that you might know has been going through a hard time, or that could really benefit from the journal prompts and the different energies of the day. I love being able to share this beautiful wisdom of the stars and of the stars, the planets, and the earth. It is, star energy, earth energy. I've got the blend of the sidereal and the Chinese astrology. So yeah, I'm so happy to lead you. We are the answer. Remember, when you see a flock of geese, that is the Greek word for the answer is the Greek word for the geese, and that I'm all about community, and that it comes back to us being in community and helping one another out. That's why I put so many links and I keep talking about different people for you to go see. And I want us to all, know that we're here together to shine. And I'm starting to get emotional again. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you on the next video next week, real soon. All right. Bye for now.